What's up, Cooking with Tammy fam? It's about that time. Let's make some lasagna. All right, first thing I'm going to introduce is some oil to the pan. The pan is hot and steamy. Woo! That just means we're going to be turning things up in the kitchen, all right? First thing I want to add to my pan is going to be some ground turkey. Now, here's the thing. Is this ground turkey lasagna going to be not tasty? Gotta stand out of the smoke. Okay, is it gonna be not tasty? No, that's not true whatsoever. It's gonna be the best lasagna that you've ever tasted. And guess what? I could put my signature on that one, okay? So if it doesn't taste good after you try this recipe, then you let me know in the comment section. But I promise you it's gonna be absolutely delicious. Let's add a little bit more oil because I am adding turkey, and this turkey is lean. I'm also going to add some spicy Italian chicken sausages. And I know when it comes to making lasagna, traditionally it's all about the ground beef and sometimes adding ground pork. This is still going to come close to an Italian ragu simply because we're adding ground turkey and we're also adding the chicken sausages, the spicy chicken sausages, which is also going to help to enhance the flavors along with all of the other ingredients that we're going to be adding in a second. The other thing is this: not everybody wants or eats ground beef or even ground pork. So we have to sometimes, figure out different recipes that's going to taste just as delicious in substitution for what it is that we prefer. This is going to be still a delicious recipe even for the people who love ground pork and ground beef. So let's get to cooking. The sausage links had the casing on them, right? So I went ahead and used a serrated knife and just basically sliced it down the middle and went ahead and removed the casing. The other thing is this: if you want to purchase sausage without the casing, they have that in the store as well. But here's the thing: use whatever you have, right? Dig in the deep freezer, get your sausages, get whatever you have, and add it to this recipe. Anyway, our ground turkey and spicy chicken is exactly where we need it to be. And because this is lean meat, okay? And that's another thing, right? Lasagna itself, by the time you're done adding all of the cheeses and stuff, it's kind of, it kind of has some calories going on. So if you substitute at least with using a leaner cut of meat, it's not going to be as caloric as adding the ground beef and ground pork. As it's cooking and rendering, we have some retained water, which is totally fine. We're going to take this time to season. Now here's the thing: if you're going to be using, let's say, another type of meat and it's really oily, you're going to want to go ahead and strain or drain that excess oil off. For me, however, I am going to start off with adding some salt and ground black pepper. Alrighty, not too much salt because we are going to be adding other things. Add some garlic powder. Alright, garlic powder does not contain any salt, so it's not going to be salty. Let's add some onion powder. Add a good amount of onion powder. Let's add some paprika for color. Add some smoked paprika for a nice smoky element of flavor. Okay, can't go wrong with the smoked paprika whatsoever. Add some spice to our meal. All right, so I'm going to add some red chilies along with my Cooking with Tammy all-purpose seasoning. And I'm going to also add some of my Cooking with Tammy all-purpose spicy seasoning. All right, even though it says chicken, you can use it for just about any and everything. Nothing is exempt when it comes to using that seasoning. I'm also going to take this time to add our finely diced onions. And we're going to cook our onions down until they become translucent and fragrant. All right, as you can see, all of that water has dried out of the pan. So at this point in time, the meat is going to start to sizzle once again, and it's going to create that frying effect. Let's add our minced garlic. All right, we're going to let the garlic toast up for just a bit because we want to release all of the aromatics from the garlic, okay? We want this lasagna to be what? Flavorful. I'm also going to add some Worcestershire sauce to the meat. It's going to give it a nice savory flavor. All right, let's combine everything together. This is so good, you could stop cooking at this point and add it to some white rice or some mashed potatoes, and you will definitely be satisfied. Wow, the meat looks nice and tender. Check it out, looks beautiful. We're gonna add some tomato paste. Because this is a good amount of meat, I'm gonna add about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. We're gonna cook the bittery flavor out of the tomato paste. 30 seconds should get the job done. All right, let's go ahead, combine that with the meat as well. Cooking is just like a science. It really is. Cooking something for 30 seconds more and a minute more could make the ultimate difference. Because I want to change the color of the ground turkey and the ground chicken, I'm gonna add some browning sauce. If you have Kitchen Bouquet, you could definitely rock out with that as well. If not, just add some browning, or if it really doesn't matter to you, you don't have to get, you don't have to get crazy about it. You don't even have to add it. Adding the browning sauce is definitely gonna deepen the flavors and make it taste even better. And no, this is not traditional. It's not a traditional lasagna. Time to add our crushed tomatoes. Gonna go ahead and add the whole can. We're also gonna add some tomato sauce. All right, let's get that all in there as well. We're gonna fold the meat into the sauce. And I know there was something behind me and I forgot to add it, but that's okay, all right? It's not gonna spoil anything. I'm gonna add my bell peppers. Yes, I was forgetting, I know I was forgetting something. But this is, listen, this is live cooking. That's what it is, okay? When you're cooking, you tend to forget things from time to time, but that's just how it is. Because we're gonna allow this sauce to cook for about 30 minutes on low heat, all right? Because I want all of the flavors to intertwine with one another. It's gonna work out perfectly for the, this is just a parsley stem, but it's gonna work out perfectly for the bell peppers. The bell peppers could definitely be added around the same time as the onions and the garlic, of course. We're gonna cover it down and we're gonna allow it to come to a slow simmer. And the bell peppers are gonna be cooked perfectly, all right? They're not gonna be crunchy, they're not gonna be hard or anything like that. If you wanna neutralize the acidity in the tomato sauce, you can definitely add about a tablespoon of granulated sugar or even brown sugar. Any type of sugar would work out just fine. We're gonna cover it down, lower the flame, and we're gonna allow it to come to that slow simmer for about 30 minutes. We went ahead and boiled our lasagna noodles, which is still boiling in the background. But when it comes down to the cooking time, I'm not gonna suggest anything because all you have to do is refer to the back of the package for the cooking instructions to work on making some ricotta cheese, okay? Let's make it taste really delicious. I know there's a lot of people out there, I can't stand ricotta. I'm gonna make something else to go along, or should I say as a replacement for the ricotta, but add the ricotta, okay? It picks up great when it comes to picking up on flavors, okay? We're gonna season it up really nice and you're not even gonna be able to really tell the difference. It's gonna be really good. If you don't add the ricotta, you're gonna be missing out. Trust me when I tell you. All right, I have some frozen spinach. Frozen spinach has a lot of water locked in. What you're gonna do is once you remove it from the freezer, obviously, you're gonna put it over the sink, put it in your strainer, and you're gonna squeeze it out. Squeeze it out as much as possible to remove any excess water. If not, you're gonna have a sloppy mess. I am gonna fold the frozen spinach. Well, it's not frozen anymore, right? But I'm gonna fold the spinach into the ricotta. Into the ricotta, we are gonna add 1 egg to help loosen things up now while the ricotta is still wet. However, once we place it into the oven, it's gonna help to solidify things. It's gonna help the ricotta to set and sit perfectly on the lasagna noodles. We're gonna add some Italian seasoning, salt, and ground black pepper. All right. We're also gonna brighten up the flavors by adding some lemon zest. I'm only zesting the yellow part of the lemon. We are not going any further than the yellow skin. All right, let's wake this on up. I'm not gonna add any lemon juice, it's not necessary. We are gonna also add some freshly grated Parmesan cheese to the mix. The Parmesan cheese is gonna give it a nice nutty flavor. It's gonna taste nice and creamy. It's gonna be so delicious. Ricotta, when I tell you it picks up on flavors, right? You can use ricotta for desserts. You can use ricotta for making lasagnas, ziti's, and it picks up on all flavors, whether it be savory or even sweet. It's just that type of cheese. And for people that like cheese so much, right? I find it kind of strange when people say they don't like ricotta. I guess a lot of people don't consider it as cheese, but it is a cheese, believe it or not. They eat cream cheese before they eat ricotta. I think it's all about just not understanding it to the point where it's like, what do I do with this? It just tastes bland. I don't know how to season it. I think that's more so what it is. Let's get your pots and pans ready to make some bechamel sauce. Picture butter works best, of course. And we're gonna add our flour. We're gonna take our time and combine the flour with the butter until we have a nice smooth consistency. It's really important for us to cook the flour, because if not, you're gonna have somewhat of a doughy tasting sauce, and that's never delightful. All right, so we're just going to continue stirring it on up. Allow it to cook for about maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Once that flour is nice and toasted, then we're going to add our other ingredients, because we want our sauce to have a nice smooth consistency. Let's add our milk. We're going to make a decent amount of bechamel sauce, simply because we're going to be making a pretty decent sized lasagna, right? To feed, I want to say maybe about 8 to 10 people. And it also depends on portion size, of course. Let's add what really makes the bechamel sauce stand out on the palate. Let's add some nutmeg. I love nutmeg. I use it all year round, whether it be on camera, but mostly off camera. Let's season. So we're gonna add a couple pinches of salt and ground black pepper. We're just gonna combine the salt and pepper with everything else. We're gonna remove the bechamel sauce from the stovetop at this point in time. Now here's the thing, this is gonna remain hot for quite some time. So as it's sitting there, it's gonna continue to thicken up anyway, right? But once it starts to coat the back of your spatula, that'll be the perfect time to go ahead and turn the stove off. For our lasagna, we're going to be using our 9x13 casserole dish. All right, that should be perfect. For the moment of truth, my loves, check out our meat sauce. Whoa. Look at how hearty and how rich and how beautiful. This is, oh man, this is good. This is good. We have our bechamel sauce, which came out top tier. We also have our ricotta, which I'm just going to stir around to make sure everything is still the way it's supposed to be, incorporated, if you will. And that's about it. It's time for us to assemble our lasagna. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to take some of our beautiful meat sauce and we're going to add it to the bottom of our casserole dish. All right. Oh, this is so nice. The sauce is so rich and thick, right, that even though I'm using a slotted spoon, check this out. Nothing is dripping in the strainer part of the spoon. How perfect is that, right? That's just to show you how perfect everything came out, right? It's rich, thick, and hearty. We're gonna take our al dente noodles and we're gonna place it on top of the meat. If they overlap slightly, that's okay. If they overlap a lot, that's still okay. We're gonna add some of our beautiful ricotta. If you don't like ricotta, even though I suggested that you try it, you're going to skip this part, obviously, right? We're just going to take our time and we're going to spread it. Just add some of our meat. I'm going to use my spoon to spread it on out. And my favorite part is coming up, right? And I know for most people it's going to be the meat, right? But for me, it's the bechamel sauce. It's just something about the nutmeg that creates this nice warm flavor within this sauce. That is like, wow, I could sit here and literally eat the sauce by itself. All right, adding it to your lasagna is going to make the ultimate difference if you've never tried it this way before. All right, just spread it out just like that, right? And that is perfect. Boom. I'm going to add a combination of mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. Let's layer it up. I love cheese within the lasagna. I don't only add it to just the top. Adding it to the top is good too, but I like to have that cheese incorporated throughout the layers. Alrighty. Big, nice, chunky spoonfuls of this delicious meat sauce. Ooh, this is so pretty. With our spoon. Let's go in for another layer of our mozzarella and Parmesan blend of cheeses. This is going to be a masterpiece by the time we finish. Alrighty. At this point in time, I could add as much meat as I want because I am at the finale, if you will, of making a lasagna, and I have a lot of meat left over. I didn't want to add too much in the beginning because I was like, okay, I don't want to have more noodles than meat left over. That's not going to work out good at all. All right, bechamel sauce once again. Alrighty. Make sure we get all of the little corner pockets. Usually if too much cheese is grated, I will add it to a Ziploc bag and place it into the refrigerator until next time. But this time around, this is lasagna. Let's go all out. I'm not going to add any parsley just yet because I find when I add the parsley too early on, what happens during the cooking process, or should I say the baking process, is the parsley burns, okay? And it just looks limp sitting on top of the lasagna. We're going to cover our lasagna down with aluminum foil. Now here's the thing, we don't want the cheese to stick onto the aluminum foil, so we're going to create somewhat of a tint towards the center. We're going to cover it loosely, place it into our preheated 375 degree Fahrenheit oven. That is Fahrenheit, okay, for about 35 minutes. Once we're done, we're going to remove the aluminum and place it back into the oven for an additional 20 to 25 minutes. Once we're done, we're going to turn on the broiler setting and we're going to bake it for an additional 2 minutes, only if necessary, all right? But nevertheless, all of the cooking instructions and baking instructions is going to be down below the video in the description bar. I can't wait to show you how this comes out once we come back. Who needs to say anything more besides look at how gorgeous this came out? This came out superb. Absolutely beautiful on presentation. And guess what? Time for the favorite part, okay? I cannot wait to dig in because this, I know for a fact, is going to taste good. All right? It's not going to be set all the way just yet because it's only been about 20-30 minutes. And one thing for sure is lasagna takes a while to cool down. So, woo, this is gorgeous. Check out the cheese pole. Wow, this is so pretty. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. Yes. Check it on out. It's not set all the way, but it is gorgeous, okay? All right, let's see what we're gonna get. Give me some of that pasta and some of that meat. And some cheese. Woo! Wow, my goodness. All right. Time to have a conversation. This is one of the best lasagnas that I have ever made, okay? When I tell you it tastes absolutely delicious, whoa, my goodness, the flavor profiles. You're getting so many different flavors. You're getting so many different flavors. Not to mention, right, even though we placed our bell peppers in at the last minute during the cook down process. You can still see those pops of color. It's so gorgeous. It stands out even better than actually sauteing it down with the onions. I'm loving the color. Like I said, it's big on presentation and most importantly, big on flavor. I'm getting that nice little hint of spice. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing that's going to overwhelm your palate. You're not going to have like 10 gallons of water to wash it down. It's just so perfect. The creamy bechamel, my goodness. The warmth from the nutmeg. The ricotta, you can't even taste it. It just complements everything and makes it even more creamier than what it actually is. This is savory goodness. Trust me when I tell you, Cooking with Tammy fam, I'm going to be so honest with you. I've had lasagna at different restaurants because I eat out a lot, right? We eat out a lot. I got to emphasize on the lot. And I've never in my entirety of life tasted lasagna this good. Wow. Definitely give this recipe a try. I'm going to leave everything that I've used to make this lasagna in the description bar. Click below. Comment and subscribe, and most importantly, cookingwithtammy.shop for all of your seasonings, including the seasonings that I used to make this lasagna. And that's about it, my loves.